Hi there, and welcome to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. I'm Brian's producer, Marty, and I want to remind you of some incredible savings waiting on you right now at launchpreneuracademy.com. Want to level up your business and move to the head of the class? Well, snag the whole ball of wax. This is the ultimate business bundle. It's packed with essential tools, insider tips, and proven strategies to grow, run, and really rocket your business to new heights. Use code SAVE400, that's SAVE400, get a massive $400 off. So grab that today. Of course, save big. And please, whatever you do, write this down, make a note on your phone. Just do something to remember that the code SAVE30 is going to save you 30% site-wide at launchpreneuracademy.com during both Black Friday and Cyber Monday. That is SAVE30, and I'll put links in the description.
You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no-nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
All right, guys, coming in hot, hanging here from the Chicago Element Mastermind session. What a phenomenal time hanging out with the man of the hour. We're going to be as respectful this time, so no lengthy intro needed here. Mark Bradley, how you doing, brother?
Excellent.
Holy cow. Absolutely the best I've ever seen you. The best, I think, ever for a seminar. My mind's absolutely mush right now. Great job.
Thank you.
Holy freaking cow. Very passionate, very excited. How long have you been holding all this in for?
Been a few years.
Yeah. What a rare conversation. What a rare environment to have you be able to share and pour into 80 to 100 folks here. I mean, just very... I would say high level stuff, but also just ground floor conversation too, like the whole spectrum over the 2-day period. So what's your thoughts? What's your takeaways? How are you feeling right now?
Yeah, feeling great. Still kind of, I think seems a little bit surreal for me, deciding to sell LMN and move forward with building a new product and moving into a little bit different realm with what I do and how I share my experience. It's completely new, but very exciting. It kind of allows me to focus on something that I've really wanted to focus on for quite some time, but building LMN was always super time consuming, and there was lots to take care of day to day, and really robust piece of software with lots of moving parts and lots of executives to work with, and obviously that kept me really busy. So this new thing, it's kind of the other side of what I've always wanted to give back to the industry.
Well, just to give a little bit of context here, I guess is probably in order. You've had a crazy last 30 days, crazy last 2 weeks. So maybe just to like hit, the plus sign and then the plus sign again on Google Earth here. For anybody who doesn't know, you give me the 90 seconds. God forbid anybody doesn't know your background, but let's take it from the top. If people don't know your background, and then your more recent development, moving on from LMN. So what a tremendous success story here.
Yeah, I mean, I started out like everybody else, pickup truck and a wheelbarrow as a landscaper. 1997, started my company. The business grew pretty quickly, and I was struggling like everyone to figure out how to scale effectively. I was kind of really good at the work. I was a tradesman, so hands-on, did an apprenticeship, knew how to do the work, loved doing the work. I spent 10 years on sites building great things, building big projects, really high-end design build, landscape maintenance, landscape construction, and snow plowing. The business grew beyond my leadership skills, beyond my business skills, almost overnight. I hit $1 million in my first year. Sometime in around 2005 or so, we were at 7 million-ish, and I was feeling the pain of not knowing how to lead the company, not really knowing how to develop people, not know how to really deploy systems. The financial management was challenging. But again, we were really good at doing the work, and so the business kept scaling. Around that time, I really started to step away from the day-to-day in the business and just really hyper-focus on developing systems and people, and I really started working on myself. And I decided I needed software. I wanted to build a lean company. I wanted to have real-time metrics. I wanted to enable other people to kind of manage their day-to-day without me. And that kind of led me to deciding to build software. And I didn't know what I was doing when it came to building software, much the same as when I started out landscaping.
Sure. Fair enough.
So I really started to focus a lot more on the software and a lot more on systems and really building this lean landscape company. And so the company really kind of took off. It was interesting because almost the less I worked on the landscape business, the faster it grew. And I realized that I was maybe a bit of a control freak early on in my career. And so the systems and the people started to grow the business. And so it was scaling and scaling. And I started to build out an executive team. I started to build out a management team. And what I really started to see was the better the people were, the better the company was. And so I really focused on building technology and systems and processes and using a more metrics-based approach to running the company. And the landscape company kept growing and growing and eventually got to a $50 million business. And by 2018, I pulled out of that and moved into software full time.
Wow.
And then I just doubled down on growing the software business. And that's what I've been doing really since 2018. And this year we decided to sell the software business. It was time for us to move on and do something else. So Mike Lysecki, my co-founder, and I decided that we would start this new company, Leanscaper, which really kind of just helps businesses do everything else that we did to scale the business outside of LMN.
Wow. What an incredible story.
With the shorter days upon us and winter rapidly approaching, now is the best time to prepare your business for the busy snow season. Before you rush out the door to plow the first ounce of white gold, ensure a safe and successful evening on your sites with adequate site marking from Plowright. Plowright offers high-quality marking stakes that are flexible enough to spring back up through the toughest of conditions winter has to offer. Mark out your property lines, curbs, trip edge areas, and more with the best marking stakes in the industry. Plowright marking stakes come in all lengths and colors to give you the best choice in marking stakes for your sites. Lay up to 350 stakes per hour with the integrated staking tool and quiver kit for the ultimate starter combo, and refill with additional stakes as you see fit. Check out everything that Plowright has to offer and more at plow-right.com. Link is in the description. And don't forget, Brian's 10 saves 10% off everything site-wide. Thanks for your support and have a safe, profitable snow season.
There's so many things I'd love to ask you. I don't want to be super respectful of your time, of course. I know you're just coming off a fantastic 2-day event here, and you're already, of course, been on tour for about 3 or 4 weeks now. You went to LAL, you went to Elevate, a couple masterminds, McFarland Stanford had a conference. So you've been a little bit busy, to say the least. One thing I wanted to ask you about was your passion and your mission to help folks that I kind of call in the middle, like maybe in the desert, right? The $300,000-$500,000 range to maybe $1 million, $2 million, maybe $3, $4, $5 million even. Like you said, there was a big window of your business where it sounded like you struggled a little bit because you have revenue but not systems. And it's a common story, of what do I do? Do I grow this thing? And how do I figure this out? Or do I just throw in the towel, sell? It's worth a couple million anyway. So what's driving you right now with this whole conversation, from the masterminds to pivoting from LMN to starting Leanscaper? I mean, there's a lot of opportunity in front of you to do a lot of different things. But after hearing you share about your passion and your mission at the Detroit Mastermind this same time last year, honestly, I've told the story a couple of times. I think I've even told you, but I came back, at almost midnight because we all went out to dinner after. And Liz, my wife, said, so what do you think about LMN? And I said, honestly, I don't even think the seminar had anything to do about LMN. I said, but let me tell you about Mark Bradley. And I probably threw up on her for about a half hour about this guy's mission and his passion and what he's trying to do with the industry and all this stuff that you were just very, very excited about, which is exactly, ironically enough, like my mission and what I'm excited about. Of course, different levels here along the way. So Can you share about that for a couple of minutes? Because you stole the show at LAL. I think you're the only person in 5 years ever get a standing ovation. I think we're still standing and clapping. And I'm not just saying that. I really do believe like your heart's in the right place. Your mission, your passion is what a lot of people listening in is and are. So can you share about that for a couple of minutes?
Yeah, for sure. I wasn't always that clear. Just like everybody else, when you start a business, if you don't have any money, then your mission is to make some money.
Amen. Got to start somewhere.
That's completely normal, right? And so there's no shame in that. And so sometimes people, maybe give me too much credit. But the reality is like throughout your life, there's these seasons that sort of come into play, and things change when you age a little bit. And I'm almost 50.
There you go.
And, I think between 23 and 30, I was probably laying a foundation for my family. And, my mission was pretty simple then. I wanted to build a foundation where I could have a nice home. I could have a good life. I could provide a good life. I came from pretty humble beginnings. And, early on, that was it. I just worked hard. I really enjoyed the people around me. I hired street kids. I hired ex-cons, and we got the work done, and we were really good at it. And I took more pride in helping them see that they really were worth something and that they could really become something. And that kind of changed me, I think, over a number of years. I started to really see that I loved those people more than I loved the rich people that we were working for. Honestly, in my early years, I just loved being around those wealthy people because I just wanted to know what they knew. And so, but what I came to realize is they could see what I was doing, and they could see that I was pouring a lot into my people. And oftentimes when I started to ask questions from my wealthy clients, I would ask, hey, how did you get where you got? Tell me a little bit. I started to notice that, my beliefs around people who had success were maybe not all that accurate. I always kind of felt like it was the person on TV that wheels and deals and gets their own way and kind of maybe almost talks other people out of money. And
sure.
And what I came to realize is the more that I talked to those people and they'd ask me what drives me, I would always say, well, you know what? I really like doing a good job. I always love when a customer is happy at the end of the day. I love when they are pleased with what we did. And I really like the process of working with my staff. And I love seeing how proud they are of their work. And oftentimes, the more that I talked about that, the more that I started to realize that a lot of these people who had real success could see a pattern, and they would pour into me and they would teach me things that they didn't need to teach me. And I think over the years, what I came to realize is us humans, we're here to do that. We're here to help each other get better. And I was helping people get better, and people were helping me get better. And the more that I did that, the more that it just seemed to happen. I was more driven to help others, and everywhere I'd turn, there was somebody there to help me. And that's never ended. Like to this day, that's the way it is in my life. Every time I need something, literally every time I need something, I turn and there's somebody there with what I need. It's always the way it is. And I think I make it my business to go around and help people with what they need, whether they want to admit it or not, or whether they're ready to hear it or not. I usually just try to put the message out there in a humble way because I come from a humble beginning. And the people that need what I need to share usually recognize it. And I need a lot still too. And it just seems like the people who know what I need always need to share it as well. And I think that's pretty magical. It's just the way the world works. And I think that's our creator at work. I think that's the universe at work, whichever you believe. You either believe in God or the universe, hopefully, and or maybe both. And at the end of the day, I just believe that the more good you put out there, the more good that comes to you.
I love it. Well, let me ask you this one more question if you get 5 more minutes here. Let me ask you this really quick. So you've exited from LMN. Congratulations on all that as well. I sometimes struggle even using the word language and congratulations, right? Because it's not like you won anything here. As you said in the seminar, that was 35 years of a freaking grind, to put it minimally, right? But let me ask you this. As you pivot, it's not like you're sailing into the sunset, right? Where you get to just go live on a private island or get the fancy house and I don't even know what you do in retirement, right? Drink margaritas and go play golf every day. I don't know, whatever. I don't exactly see you as that type of individual. I feel like you stepped out of one role and now you immediately walked into another role. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot more to come on this whole next conversation, but people have been hearing the chatter. There's been some loose messaging, out there, like you can sign up for the newsletter and we got some secret releases coming out. So the whole conversation of Leanscaper, elephant in the room, what the heck is Leanscaper? And not only what's the software and the platform coming down the pike, but what is lean? I grew up, admittedly, humble beginnings too, right? So I've never even heard that word until you started talking about that just a couple of weeks ago. So can you explain maybe those two oars in the water for us?
Yeah, so Leanscaper is basically a management operating system, which that may not mean much to some people either. It certainly didn't mean much to me when I got started. And what that is it's a turnkey way of running a landscaping business. And so every system and process that's needed to manage finance, growing people, managing the day-to-day operation, managing the customer expectations, all there's systems to do that. And at every size of business, you need different systems. You kind of break things, right? One day you start your business and going to get gas is simple. You've got one pickup truck and you stop at the gas station. And so your fueling system is when the gas gauge says the truck is empty, you go get gas.
Amen.
And when the gas can's half empty, you're going to need gas soon, right? That's the fueling system when you're an owner-operator, and that's completely normal. That was my system. But when you've got 3 trucks, 4 trucks, 5 trucks, 7, those other people need to be told how to fuel. So you need a system. Mm-hmm. Now, do you want them all to stop at the gas station on the way to the job site or on the way home from the job site? Mm-hmm. That might be your system. Mm-hmm. And then when they put gas in gas cans, do you want them to put the gas in the same gas cans as the diesel or the mixed fuel? Because they might put the wrong fuel in the wrong machine if there's not a standard way of doing it. And so there's systems that end up happening in your business in order to stop the mistakes from happening. And really what this is the owner trying to duplicate what they did really well with one crew many times. So as the business scales, the systems evolve and the owner evolves. And so you become the leader of leaders once you start to hire more leaders. And so in order to become the leader of leaders, you have to develop systems and processes that replicate your knowledge. And I think a lot of times business owners like me getting started, they don't know how to do that. And it's really hard to build the systems while the business is growing because it's kind of like, flying the plane and building it at the same time. You just can't do that. Mm-hmm. And as you're trying to keep up with hiring people, training people, selling jobs, doing the banking, dealing with your broken equipment, now, on top of that, you're going to create systems. It's just next to impossible, right? So oftentimes businesses really don't keep growing because the owner is either not that good at sales or not that good at operations. Maybe they're better at one than the other. A lot of times people like me are really good at doing the work, but they don't have the perfect sales process. Or maybe they're really good at selling, but they can't really get the work done. Mm-hmm. And so I think when you've got systems to deploy, to be good at sales, to be good at managing finance, operations, customer expectations, marketing, a turnkey system, you just kind of grow into your business and the systems almost help you evolve. And so Leanscaper is a way of doing business. Mm-hmm. And I had a different set of systems to go from 300,000 to $1 million than I had when I went from 20 million to 50 million.
Sure.
And so I've felt that pain that everybody's felt at each size. And so what I decided to do is build a program to go from 300,000 to $1 million, from $1 million to 3 million, from 3 million to 10, from 10 to 30, and then from 30 to 100 million.
Is this the ones and threes you're often talking about and the game plan, the playbook? Yeah. I'm always trying to ask these questions like, what does that mean? Quantify that. Help me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm that annoying guy always asking the questions, right? So,
and I mean, ultimately, like everybody builds a business in the early stages to solve their cash flow problem, right? They want to support their family. And there's a scarcity mindset to some degree that sets in when cash flow's tight. And so you kind of almost suppress people's wages, and you can't pay people a lot of money if you want to kind of get by because things are tight in the early years in business. And so I think what happens is people keep scaling with that scarcity in their mind, and they don't understand that there's maybe a better way to do things. And so really what I'm aiming to do at this point is just help people understand how to break out of that, how to see the business for what it is, the opportunity that exists, how to build enterprise value, which enterprise value is the value of your business.
Sure.
And businesses with just an owner-operator are not worth much because when the owner-operator's gone, the business is kind of gone.
Right.
And now you can sell them, and certainly there's people out there buying them, but there are not a lot of buyers and they're not paying much. And so I really want to teach business owners how to evolve their businesses and build some enterprise value so they can build a business knowing that they can sell it and retire with some wealth. And I think there's a lot more money to be made building business than there is, buying a home, much more. And I think that, we're seeing private equity come into our industry and they're buying up all the good companies. And I don't think they're paying enough for them. And I think they're maybe taking advantage of a lot of the folks that are selling. And so I want to help people build better businesses, not just so that they build wealth, but better businesses so that we can really impact humanity in the sense that we should be helping the employees in the industry, and there's millions, unlock better wages, unlock a livable wage where they can actually take care of their families, where they can get proper bank accounts and they can take care of the day-to-day like normal people. It kind of makes me sick to just think about us building businesses on the backs of people who really can't afford to support their families.
Yeah, or their kids, you were saying earlier.
Or their kids.
Yeah.
And so my goal here is really, let's find a way to deploy apprenticeships, deploy a standard operating procedure into the businesses so that we can evolve the owners so they understand how to build a valuable business, a successful, profitable business that pays employees fair wages, that takes young people into apprenticeship programs, train them, turn them into tradespeople that are valuable tradespeople that can work efficiently, build incredible things, maintain incredible things, run equipment, use the latest and greatest technology as it comes to market, all following leaders who have a really good operating system that's proven. The system that I used to build my business at each of those stages. And as you go through the stages, you go through a leadership program and your employees are going through apprenticeship programs. And what you're doing is you're building a company. And I always say that these companies take a long time to build, 5 years, 10 years. And when you know how to develop people and sales process, and you know how to run finance, and you know how to improve your customer satisfaction, you build a valuable company. But in the process, you build a company that really can contribute to society in a positive way.
Yeah, the whole package.
The whole package. And what we really want to do is we want to create opportunity for these employees to serve their mission. And their mission is to serve their families and provide for their families. And in the process, great businesses build great communities. And we can impact millions of children by actually helping small businesses do a better job at run small businesses, because 80% of the workforce today is working for small businesses, and landscaping is a big, big category in the small business sector. So what I really want to focus on for the rest of my career is just helping business owners build better communities, give back to their employees, and help their employees create better future for their children, because that's how we can change humanity.
Phenomenal. I honestly, I just can't thank you enough for sharing about all this conversation. I mean, this is something that I think anybody can get excited about and passionate about. Let me ask you, just if I can press even one more notch further, like what is actually Leanscaper though? Like, what is the actual platform? What is that all about?
So it's a free community for everybody in the industry. So whether you're an employee or a company or a supplier, you can join Leanscaper. There's a free community. I'm going to put all kinds of resources. I'm going to put most of what I've learned in my entire career, my 35-year career, all the pain and suffering and hard lessons. I'm going to put out as much information and content and value there as possible, with a lot of forms and turnkey systems that smaller businesses can put to work right away. People who may not be able to afford to pay anything yet, they can log in there and start using some of these things to improve their business right away.
Okay.
I'm going to put a lot of content in there to help individuals maybe remove some of their limiting beliefs and truly see that there are people out there who care about helping. I'm going to make sure that people can match up with great companies who might be hiring, who might be looking for apprentices or looking for people to help them in their businesses. So I'm going to create this community.
Yeah, that'd be huge.
And then for businesses who are scaling, I'm going to have a program. It's called the Mastermind Accelerator Program, where companies can join. And each week, we're going to do a sprint meeting, 50 weeks a year. And that sprint meeting is basically a meeting where every week I lead those meetings personally, and I'm like the virtual CEO for all the companies that are in the program.
Okay.
And in that meeting, basically what we're going to do is we're going to roll out a system, a process that's timely for that time of year. And if you roll out systems and processes very slowly throughout the year, bite-sized pieces with turnkey systems that are already created, it makes it much easier for a business to kind of transform. And so when you look back after 50 weeks, you're 50 times better than you were at the start of the year. And so you go through this program, and every month there's a 3-hour intensive, which is, again, a continuous improvement meeting where we're really just focused on lean principles.
Okay.
And those lean principles, you asked earlier, what's lean?
Right, yeah.
Lean principles were used by companies like Toyota and Caterpillar and most of the Fortune 500 companies to really teach their employees what good looks like, how to succeed, how to eliminate waste, how to actually play the game to win. And that's how those massive companies with hundreds of thousands of employees get rolling in the same direction. And
this is the playbook.
That's the playbook.
Okay.
And what I did is I redeveloped that, and I called it the landscape production system in my own landscape company. It took me 20 years to build it, and that's why the company scaled from 5 to 50 million. And so what I really want to do is share that playbook over this 50-week period with these weekly sprints every week for 50 weeks. And every month, there's a 3-hour intensive where we really double down on a certain component of the business. That might be sales process. That might be operational plans to eliminate waste. It could be a fleet management program. But those programs are very specific to the season.
Okay.
And so spring training is going to be an intensive. And so, hey, how do you get your staff up to speed in the spring? And then it's a turnkey system with the meeting structure, with the actual meeting content. And so what we're doing is we're just helping companies have the perfect weapon at their disposal all the time. And I join every week to be the virtual CEO. And this way, you learn how to become a CEO by joining every week, where you get a $50 million CEO
Sure.
leading your sprint calls every week. And you can bring your managers with you, and they're learning and you're learning, and together you're improving your own company.
Wow.
And then every quarter throughout the year, there's an intensive. And so one will be sales, one will be operations, one will be finance, and one will be the customer. And then the 5th meeting of the year is a big strategic planning meeting, which allows you to create a plan for your business for the next 5 years so that you can really understand where it is that you're going. Because the enterprise value is really based on long-term thinking. And I think a lot of businesses really are underestimating the value of their businesses. If you can build $1 million business and then duplicate that 3 times, you're a $3 million business. And that takes 3 years. And if you have a $3 million business and you duplicate that 3 more times, that takes 3 more years. But now you're a $10 million business. And in 6 years, you could have a $10 million business. And a lot of people don't understand this, but there's a playbook that you can run, and there's a way of doing this when you understand these lean principles and you understand the 4 perspectives in the business. And when you've got the system, you just run the system, just like anything else. And so really what Leanscaper is it's an operating system that you follow, and you create plans, and you have metrics, and you have goals, and you have systems, and you keep using them. And you evolve as a leader, your managers evolve, your staff evolve, you build a great business. One day, if you'd like to sell it, it's going to be worth a lot more money than a business without systems, because that's not worth much. And if you do sell it, the best part is you're going to have a well-paid staff who are trained apprentices, who have skills that are transferable. They'll always be in good condition for the rest of their life because you gave them all of that knowledge and you helped them unlock their true potential. And I think when you build enterprise value and you build people and you give back to your community, this ripple effect is real. And I think that's what the country needs right now. We need more depth. We need more skills. We need business owners who care about their staff, who love their staff and want to help them really unlock their true potential. And that's really what Leanscaper is all about.
I'm sold out. I am all in. I will tell you honestly, the biggest thing that I've been searching for 6, 7, 8 years, running across the whole freaking country, Mark, is looking for clarity. I said, I need the roadmap. I said, I need the recipe. And I have talked to a lot of individuals, as you might imagine. And I'm like 7, 8 years into this thing and piecing together my Frankenstein operating manual, if you will, for growth and scaling. And transparently, we're still not even there yet. And as you've been talking about this and alluding to this conversation in the last, 60 to 90 days, you would send me some text messages. What do you think about this? And I'm like, need that. What do you think about this? I'm like, I have no idea what that even means. I need that too. And so I'm very, very excited about not only what you're sharing out to the industry and to the community, but practically speaking, I want to give my guys opportunity. Liz and I do want to build wealth. Like, we do want to succeed at a higher level. So from a practical standpoint and philosophical standpoint, I'm all in with you, brother, and I'm super excited about what's coming down the pike. Where do people learn more? Again, last elephant in the room kind of question, but where do they? No tee up here. You didn't ask me to share about this, but where do people learn more?
Real easy. Just go to leanscaper.com.
Okay.
You can sign up there. The community's free.
Okay.
Get started online and you'll get some updates, some information. Again, lots of free resources in there. Lots of good conversation will spin off of there, and we'll keep everybody updated through that free community on other programs and events that we've got coming up. But as I said, leanscaper.com.
And then the actual platform or program, the operating system, that's a late summer launch?
The weekly program that I mentioned, the sprints and the monthly, that's a mastermind accelerator program that kicks off in January.
Oh, okay.
And then the new software that helps power this whole system and automates a lot of the workflows and systems deployment in a business, that's going to kick off mid-year.
Love it. Love it. Absolutely awesome. All right. Well, that's where we're going to land the plane. I'll give you the final thought. Anything you want to share with these guys? Thank you so much for, telling your story. Just incredible pouring back into the industry. I wish there was another dozen folks just like you. Kindred spirits. I love your mission. That's what sold me. Again, Liz was like, what do you think about LMN? I'm like, if that's what I need, then fantastic. But I'm not sold out to LMN. I'm sold out to Mark Bradley. And thank you. As you know, you've helped coach and guide me on so many conversations this last 12, 18 months. So I've really been able to befriend you a little bit. So thank you. I don't take that for granted. And I know the folks listening to the show, thank you as well. So thank you for pouring back into everything that we're doing. But I'll give you the final thoughts. Anything you want to wrap up with? But thank you again.
No, absolutely. Thanks for having me on, and thanks for everything you do as well. You're a true gift to the industry as well. So thank you very much.
I appreciate that. Let me do this really quick. Let me sign off with the Google. Where can people find you?
Leanscaper.com.
And at Mark Bradley 360 on Instagram?
Oh, on Instagram, yeah, at Mark Bradley 360.
Yeah, and if you do want to sign up with LMN, although you don't have any more stake in the game, right?
I still want you on LMN. Don't worry. I love LMN. Always will. It's my baby.
I love it.
We're very connected. The Leanscaper and LMN will always be tight, and I'm very much involved in the strategy moving forward.
There you go.
I'm an advisor to the new CEO and very committed to helping the customers continue to see improvements and ongoing innovation there as well.
I love it. Well, last thing I'll sign off with, guys, if you have not booked tickets or a flight, make the trip, make the trek, do whatever you got to do. But you got the Boston and Detroit masterminds coming up in about real time, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks. So make sure you guys check those out. 100% worth the investment to go see those. And again, anything Mark Bradley see on the marquee sign, or he's part of the event list or the speaker list, make sure you guys go check him out and give him a high five, give him a handshake, whatever you guys want to do. And again, I think if you just sit in front of guys like this, you're going to learn a lot. It's going to really help you propel your business and grow. So Mark, thanks again, brother.
All right. Thanks for having me.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, hey, we're going to button up right here. Thanks so much for listening to this episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast, and we'll catch up with you guys here on the next one.
With the shorter days upon us and winter rapidly approaching, now is the best time to prepare your business for the busy snow season. Before you rush out the door to plow the first ounce of white gold, ensure a safe and successful evening on your sites with adequate site marking from Plowright. Plowright offers high-quality marking stakes that are flexible enough to spring back up through the toughest of conditions winter has to offer. Mark out your property lines, curbs, trip edge areas, and more with the best marking stakes in the industry. Plowright marking stakes come in all lengths and colors to give you the best choice in marking stakes for your sites. Lay up to 350 stakes per hour with the integrated staking tool and quiver kit for the ultimate starter combo, and refill with additional stakes as you see fit. Check out everything that Plowright has to offer and more at plow-right.com. Link is in the description. And don't forget, Brian's 10 saves 10% off everything site-wide. Thanks for your support, and have a safe, profitable snow season.
You're probably listening to this podcast because you want to get better at the business of lawn care. If you have made the decision to go all in, then the whole ball of wax at lawntrepreneur.academy.com is the fastest route to starting strong and putting your company in the best position for success. The whole ball of wax is everything Brian Fullerton offers, with a few exceptions, at less than half the price of purchasing every training course, program, and resource individually. When you purchase the whole ball of wax, not only do you get instant access to everything on the site, along with a one-on-one coaching call with Brian, you get lifetime updates to all courses, and when new programs come online, those are yours for free. Pause the podcast, go to lawntrepreneur.academy.com, click on the store tab, or use the link in the podcast description.
If you've been on the fence about grabbing the whole ball of wax at Lawntrepreneur Academy, here's your opportunity. Get $400 off by using the code SAVE400. This bundle is packed with everything Brian wishes he'd known starting out, and tools he still uses today to grow and run the business. If you're looking to level up, now's a great time to check it out. Remember to use code SAVE400 at checkout, and a link is in the description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.